y'all. This is Bite Size Thursday, or whatever day you are listening to us.
Are you doing the Phoenix dance from last episode?
Yeah. Ooh, gotta break out those dances. But for this episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender, we are not watching episode 2. We're watching episode 3 of book 3, which is titled The Painted Lady.
Lady!
'Cause she's my lady.
Which, honestly, I don't remember that much of this one. I really don't.
I remember it's the environmental one that everyone hates, and I don't know why.
I was going to say it's one of the more maligned ones. Probably because it is so heavy-handed about the...
Yeah, I think it's probably the least liked episode of book 3 for the majority of people.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Which I've never had a problem with it.
No.
I mean,
It's a pretty typical Avatar episode. It is a heavy-handed message, like you said.
I think they just kind of needed to give Katara more separate screen time.
Yeah, and again, it's that kind of breathing room still, because then the next couple episodes are heavier.
What are the next couple episodes?
Sokka's Master the Beach and the Avatar and the Fire Lord.
Whoa.
So three big ones right in a row.
I never liked the beach. That's for a different episode.
That's from watch that episode.
But this is the Painted Lady.
And as for this episode, you guys want to watch this?
Yeah, this is Katara is the Painted Lady, and does the thing with the sludge, and that's the only thing.
I'm sorry. She does the what?
So she throws the splash fruit at the Sky Islands in Tears for Fears. Did I just break you a little bit?
No, my brain's not computing whatever you just said, honestly. I'm still confused.
Were those things you just said words?
Yeah, my brain's very slowly falling apart for some reason. But we're good. We're here. Woo! Anyway, you guys ready to? Let's
take a bite.
This is Greg.
And ladies and gentlemen, we just watched the entire Painted Lady episode, and it's a good episode.
Why do you say that like we're going to watch a half a episode?
I don't know. It just
Okay.
We watched the whole thing. Every last second, including the incredible outro. Like, it's like great. But regardless, this is a very Katara-centric episode. And I feel like we haven't had a good Katara-centric episode in a second, so it's been good to get that back.
Yeah, when is the last one? That was like all Katara.
Was there ever one?
I mean, we've had like Katara-centric episodes before, I feel like. But
yeah, like Jet.
I am sure. I am certain.
The Fortune Teller.
Fortune Teller?
Is that in book 2?
That's book 1. They're both Jet and Fortune Teller book 1.
Okay, find one in book 2.
Were there any in book 2? Were there any Katara-centric?
There was a Katara-centric-ish vinaigrette
in Tales of Lost and Save. And half of it is her.
That's true. The other half is Toph. She really
That's fair.
The whole standalone.
Maybe that's what they realized. Oh crap, we haven't really developed Katara's character. We got to do something.
Honestly, maybe that is what they did, because I thought they did a great job.
I don't understand the hate for this. It's fine. I like it.
It's good.
It's not among the great Avatar episodes, but it's not a good episode.
I feel like people don't like it because it doesn't advance the overall story, and I think once we've gotten to this point in the show, they kind of don't like episodes that are taken out of it.
I mean, I will say the last 2. Well, no, because the last one, even though
there's important stuff in the headband, but the Gaang side of the story isn't as important.
Yeah.
You have the perspective thing that's cool, but it doesn't really further the plot, whereas the Zuko Iroh stuff.
What people don't realize is, like I said in the last episode, this set of episodes shows you that sets up that the Fire Nation is like just a people, a misled people, and that helps feed into Aang's motivation. But like, okay, helps you understand Aang's motivation of I can't do this and kill him. If they're not people, and he says that, it's like, why? They're monsters. All they do is bad stuff.
They kind of tried touching on that in the Jet episode.
Yeah,
but not as
but
well
if
as...
but if they're people, I mean, they didn't take a couple episodes. Now they're taking a couple episodes because what's the next one? Is that Sokka's master? Like, he's a person, and setting aside his White Lotus connections, like, that's important. And then even the puppet master is important for showing that these are just people that can have bad things happen to them.
Yeah, and that's true. It is interesting to see that even in the nation that they thought was ruling the whole world and was great, there's literally villages that are dying because...
And they were all born into it. This started well before any of them were alive.
They don't act like those river people are Fire Nation, though.
That's true, but they are. I was kind of thinking, like, when it gets to that moment where they're mad at her for tricking them, I actually thought, like, I know this resolves itself happily. That might have been an interesting thing where she helped them, and they're upset at her. And even if they're upset at her, wrongfully, that is kind of a more interesting angle of, like, imagine they were mad at her and she couldn't convince them, and you have this interesting thing of she did the right thing by helping them, but some people are just not grateful sometimes. But they're not going to do that.
Didn't that happen to Aang at one point? I'm trying to remember what episode that was.
Yeah.
He tried helping and they wouldn't accept his help. But
Something like it.
Like,
is that Avatar Day?
Yeah.
That's what made
until
that's
he
what I'm thinking
pleads
of.
with the
yeah.
Please.
Yeah, because that is an interesting idea to think about.
I just thought that would have been an interesting direction to take, but there's like a minute left in the episode.
Well, additionally, I'm going to say it again. It's a children's show.
And that's the thing.
It's a little too complex.
And if you... I'm not going to say that what I was saying is definitely what they were doing, but if you could look at it from that angle, they can't do that because that undermines their humanity. For them to not accept her help or not want to clean up the river or be mad at her for kicking the army's butt out of town or whatever it is, that undermines their humanity, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, I could absolutely see that. I do like at the end we actually got to see the painted lady. That was a funny little bit.
Yeah, what did I say? Like, oh, now you show up.
Yeah.
We did all the work.
Maybe she couldn't because the river was so sludgy.
Maybe.
Isn't she supposed to protect that river or something?
It just makes me think of the Sally Field, the
lazy spirit.
Mrs. Doubtfire. The whole time. Like, she was there the whole time, didn't do anything. Like, yeah, I don't know. It was interesting, though.
I haven't seen Mrs. Doubtfire in a hot minute, so...
She'll rock your world.
That's
the tagline.
I don't even remember what he's talking about.
That was the tagline? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. That's funny.
It was the poster with the broom, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, no, like, because at the end of it, Sally was like to Rob Williams' character, which I can't remember his name for some reason.
Yeah, but just like she cleans up for them.
Yeah.
They clean up this. I'm pulling the Dickey.
Look at that.
Maybe don't say that.
I'm sorry.
Wait, what did you say?
Did you say you're doing the Dickey?
No, I said I'm pulling the Dickey.
Oh, pulling it.
I should not say that.
He might need that a little bit right now. It worked its way in again. It worked its way in. I genuinely hope that Sam, who listens to our podcast,
she does not.
She needs to, and I hope she laughs at every single one.
But cleaning up that river, it's like, oh man, that would have taken forever. Man, I'm glad I don't have to do that. How far back did that set their schedule?
Time lapse. How much? Yeah, I was gonna say, how much did that knock them out of their schedule?
Like, there's no way they did that in an afternoon.
Oh God,
there's no way they did that in an afternoon.
Way. It's interesting how they mentioned the schedule. I'm not trying to like nitpick it too much, but then they just kind of dropped the schedule. Like, oh, it's we're just gonna help them. Like, it still would have been nice to see Sokka still like bring it up like one or two more times for me at least, but it still worked at the end of the day.
Yeah. Again, not anywhere near the greatest of their episodes, but the hate it gets from some people, it's like, it's fine.
Yeah. It was silly the seeing the fishes and like the clams looking all bleh, like that was kind of fun.
Do that again.
They're looking all bleh.
One more time.
No. Well,
I'm trying to think of more to say. Yeah, it just kind of
exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I think that's, again, the part of the first chunk there that you're establishing the season, and you're looking at the Fire Nation more. The next string of episodes, as we've said, get some heavy hitters and some fan favorite ones that are very, very important. You know, the next one's one of my favorites.
Oh, the next one's a great one. I do remember that.
Yeah.
When do we get to the Firebending Masters? That's book 2. That's the second half of book 2.
Yeah, that is episode 13 in the season, and this was episode 3.
Okay.
We got a while.
Little ways
It
away.
is funny how... was it this or the last episode we were watching? You said, are we close to the Boiling Rock? And I said, Jake, that's like 3 episodes
No. We
away.
looked at the palace, and I said, is that the Boiling Rock?
It was like...
That's rough, buddy.
It's like, that is like 3 that's right after the Fire. That's like 3 episodes away from the finale episodes.
That's still one of my favorite lines.
And I think it's been a running thing the whole time of like, no.
Are we
So I
there
think-
yet? No.
No. And then what's going to happen is like, oh, there it is.
I mean, again, this whole thing exists in my head at
As
one
one
time.
It's just
Yep.
Avatar. All right. Well, on that note, thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you liked it and you want to watch and talk about next week's episode, which is also fantastic, where can you find us online, Jared?
You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the funny TikTok. And you can listen to us on Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. And hey, if it's YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, ring our bell. Make sure you like and comment on all those
Things.
Really? You're doing this again? Apps.
and check out our groovy
Website?
website.
Yeah, it's just another fun way to listen and watch us. And I wrote bios for all of us.
Oh, no, he wrote them?
Oh, yes, I did.
Is it going to be like your boat's PSA from college?
Several $100,000.
Close to $1 million.
$1 million.
Oh, sorry.
A
Close to $1 million. Close
$1
to $1 million.
No one's going to understand
Close to $1 million.
Go figure.
Thank you for listening to today's episode.
Close to $1 million.
I really
Close
want
to
a boat.
$1
I really
million.
want a boat. I
In
really
case
want a
you
boat.
guys-
I
Go
really
bigger.
want a boat.
Go
I really
bigger.
want a
Go
boat. I really
bigger.
want a
Go
boat. I really want a
bigger. Go
boat.
bigger.
Well, you want to listen to us talk about Avatar, make sure to.
Go figure. Take a bite.